So there is something I completely forgot about. Yeah, it's this little platformer about Pipsqueak. I mean, how much time passed since the game was released? The sad thing is, the creator didn't make anything new with it. So I don't know if this project will completely be legit, because I really thought I would find out something new from these old games. But no, it's just the same platformer with some tweaks, I guess. Because I can see there are tweaks in the description that weren't there before. At least I didn't think there were there. But what you do is you collect treasure here and it'll... and I died. And it all seems pretty much... well, to be fair, it feels pretty much vain, because, you know, I've played so much similar platformers created on Stencil before. At least with this one is not about Pinkie Pie. And that's the thing you get to know, you get to mind when you're creating a game. You know, if you just want to do it for fun, that's fine. But to be memorable, you have to have some kind of, well, some kind of chair on top to make your game more memorable. Like Drippy Store I've played recently. No, even if the controls are wonky in this one and I died once again. Yeah, even if this game isn't perfect, you wouldn't forget it. Because it's mostly about the story and the atmosphere and stuff. Well, I'm not pushing any game to be artistic. Sometimes simple-minded, fun games are... where did you come from? They are exactly what you need to kind of... I don't know what I was going to say there. But yeah, I mean, I completely forget I played this game. I think his second game, the most recent, no, not recent one, but the last deviation on his DeviantArt is about tricks, and I remember that because, well, I didn't play much games about tricks touching tomatoes. But we'll come back to that one when I play it. So I guess what I'm doing here is I'm trying to combine like different games for the same artist into one video to get through these reflections more quickly. Wait, do you say more quickly? No, you don't say more quicker because that's an error. And you can say more quicker, and I think quicker will be grammatically correct or something. Yeah. Sudden bottles. And you can walk on top of your enemies. I think the second Mario, which was like Doki Doki Panic, did it. You know, you can just jump on your enemies and walk on them. And they don't hurt you because you need to pull them up or something. But yeah, you can do stuff with it because, you know... Well, you know, when I say game, when I see something in the game for the fact you can like walk on top of enemies, I immediately think how you can use it to like make your platforming better experience. Maybe add some puzzles or some secrets where you can kill an enemy or you can like let him stay alive and then walk on top of him. Like that. So yeah. The hit detection is still pretty not very precise, I'd say. But it works. No, the game isn't that hard to blame all its shortcomings. Because you can pretty much just breeze through it. Not without deaths, mind you, but yeah. Every enemy, you know, isn't random, it is placed exactly at the same stuff. Even cannonballs aren't random like in once again in the first Mario game. Or were they random there? I don't know. To be honest, what the hell was that? Okay, to be honest, I'm not as familiar as Mario as I should have been. Because, well, I like 2D platformers, and Mario seems to be the greatest, like the king of all platformers. But I never played any Mario games. Well, I've played them, but I didn't complete any of them. Because I guess I never grew into this plumber. Huh. I think in my childhood I liked Sega and Sonic more. And you know, then I go onto the internet and see that they have some kind of like a war. Yeah. This is... Can I do it that way? No, I can't. Sometimes your controls lock up. And you know, if you... don't get the timing exactly right, like here. Huh. I wonder. No. No, no, no. No. Please, no. Come on. Just let me kill y'all. I think it is doable, you know. But sometimes, like, controls lock up, so, you know, you don't perform. What am I doing? Oh, come on. Sometimes they come in pairs, so you can't exactly... Yeah, those pair sprays, they... Oh. You know what? I'm gonna try that. And if it doesn't work on consistent pace, then I will deem it undoable, because sometimes they come in pairs. And I think it's something about timing, you know, if you screw it up once, then you're dead. Second thing is, if you get hit, then... well, this happens. How did I well, yeah, I don't think it's doable. Well, it might be, but it would be tedious, to say the least. I don't think it... It's just that sometimes he locks up and doesn't perform this attack when I need him to. Yeah. Let's try this again. Come on. No. You only screw up once you can. Huh. Ah. Now I don't feel like I've accomplished anything. Because, well, this endless stream is pretty much supposed to force you to go upwards. But sometimes I like to change myself on those weird stuff. Well, yeah. And this commentary has been about nothing once again. Yay me. So let's switch to Trixie and... Here we go. This one I've also played and... Well, as I've explained previously, I think it needs a little bit more tweaking. Because, you know, just running left and right and it gets boring a bit fast. Simple as that. No, if you could perform some tricks to score more points and get yourself exposed to more tomatoes, it would be fine. If you could jump, it would be even more fun because now you had like a second option of dodging tomatoes. So yeah, with those games I can't expect a little bit more from the creator, but this is... There wasn't any new submission since I played this Trixie game. So once again, no major changes at all and I die. I'm not exactly sure how much tomatoes I dodged on my first round. You know, my original round. I think it was like 300 or 400. But you know, this counter gets... Well, at first it gains momentum slowly because it counts tomatoes you dodge, but when those tomatoes keep flying it... Oh no. I have a... Yeah, you need to get your shield up. That was pathetic. No, if I want to end this, I want to end this on a high note. So at least 200 tomatoes dodge, because I don't feel like going for a record. Now, since Ponyville like hate tricks and considering those spoiler images for the third season, she's going to be some kind of like a villain with necklace in the first episode. I don't know, there's a lot of... what the hell? And once again, No, I'd like to refrain from swearing, but I can't help it because, you know, my brain doesn't register swearing in the foreign languages as a bad thing. So it's like try to like record yourself playing like pony game and not saying pony at all. You know, you're gonna say pony eventually, especially if you're improvising. Yeah, one thing you're gonna notice is you need to know when those tomatoes will hit you. And it's happening when they're going on their way down. So yeah, as you can see, you can pretty much ignore your tomatoes if they go on upwards, but in all honesty, it's hard to spot those. No. But yeah, that was about 200. Just barely, but you know, I'm not going for record here. I just want to replay some old pony games. Well, hopefully next time it will be more interesting. But I'm getting there. Oh my god, I hope this isn't recording.